All right. Let's say Happy New Year to YouTube, whoever's out there. Probably Debbie. Maybe Kate's watching. I don't know. Anyway. Everybody stay sober, not sick.
I'm sober.
Good for you. Everybody's healthy, right?
Yeah.
All right, we got a light. What are we doing? Yoga in a can, right? I'm trying to somewhat replicate a little bit of what happened Friday. Because my hips really felt great after that. And that was the first time they felt really good. I had a plan going into that workout, and it worked better than I thought. Reach up. Reach back. All kinds of things cracking and popping here. Reach under. That was a weird pop. Now I feel this through the shoulder all the way down through the opposite hip. I don't know where you guys are feeling it. This one I know where everybody feels, right in the back of the legs, straighten the knees, pull up on the toes, really pull up on the toes. Make sure that your back foot is pointed straight ahead and not tipped off to the side. A lot of times I'll see feet pointed sideways. The toes should be straight ahead. It's just one way to avoid the stretch, by turning your foot out. Other side. Oh, and up at ankle rolls. Really try to pull a knee into your chest. Big stretch through the hip. It's hard staying balanced, doing ankle rolls, all that. Oh my lordy. Right hip is still pretty tight. Doesn't feel as miserable as it did a week ago. Right there. See, on this side, I only feel it in the shoulder. Don't feel it at all in the hip. Little things to pay attention to when you're stretching. As it feel one side to the next. Am I getting the same response? Same mobility? All right, gorilla squats. Continuing with the idea of really loosening up. Do your best to grab the toes and pull. My arms stay locked out straight. And I'm pulling back through the shoulders, sinking my hips under the shoulders. A couple of neck rotations. Press back up. And you're pushing through the hands and the feet to come back up. And you're pulling down. Really stretch out the legs at the top. If they're feeling tight, kind of alternate and stretch back and forth. Here at the bottom, if you feel like things are too tight, change them, open them up. Move the heel in or out a little bit, toes in or out a little bit. Boy. And from here we're going to go to dead bugs. So, stability ball or not, dead bugs still work. Without the stability ball, you probably need to think a little bit harder about keeping your tailbone just hovering off the ground. So you want to have a real tight compression between the pelvis and the rib cage. So you're no arch in the back when you're up here. You're not going to be substantially rounded, but you're going to have kind of all of your back in contact with the floor. And then remember to keep it there. Pull the toes up into the shin. Squeeze the knee up into the thigh. Touch the lower leg, the calf, to the floor before the heel. reach the other arm all the way back. Straight back behind your head, flat to the floor. And again, without the ball, you just got to pull. Remind yourself to pull a little bit harder on that upright leg. Now, it should be harder, I think, harder to get your leg down to the floor than it is to bring it back up. If your leg is locked, it'll be a little bit of work.
What part of your arm is touching?
Huh?
What part of your arm is touching the floor?
When the whole, all my arm. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see, but as my arm goes back, palm is up, and I'm getting the whole arm in contact with the floor. Now, if you're having trouble with that, it's not unusual. Ooh, reverse crunches. So we got 13 reverse crunches.
I just realized one of my shoulders doesn't go down very well.
Yeah, for a lot of people that's the case. Or the elbows will bend, that type of thing. But that's, again, part of why for the dead bug. As we kind of keep reaching through the exercise, it helps to rehabilitate shoulders and hips. Starts with the core and works out. So as the core starts to hold everything stable while you're lifting and lowering all these limbs, then the hip and shoulder capsules can do their jobs more appropriately. And eventually, with all of that dutiful stretching that we're doing, the tight stuff will loosen up and the weak stuff will get stronger through the exercise. And we can rebalance our posture to a degree or another. I wish I could tell you how many repetitions of YTW I did in my life, or row, rotate, and press, all those crazy posture exercises, even rows with the TRX. The numbers are huge. We're doing single get up each side, add a windmill if you like. But I did spend a lot of time working on good posture. One of the things I saw, even before I was a trainer, was that most guys working out in the gym had posture that looked more like a monkey or a Cro-Magnon man or something. Slumped forward, shoulders rounded inward, that kind of stuff. And it was just because they were overdoing the wrong exercises and never stretching. So you just rebalance. And, I already at that point in my life had some rounding in the shoulders and slumpiness from sitting at a desk, driving a truck, all that kind of stuff for years. And it took time and thousands, if not millions of repetitions of things like Y's, T's, and W's. But the doctors also threatened me in my 20s, 30s, and said, "You're going to have arthritic shoulders." And I don't. So all those thousands of reps, those silly basic exercises, have paid off. And of course, there's the get up, which has no real similar exercise. All right, so leg curl without the ball. Are you on carpet, Catherine?
I have a wood floor and I just got a towel so I can do it on the ground like that.
Perfect. All right. The only one that's going to be a trick then is going to be the Romanian Twist, but we'll do extra ab wipers there. All right, so leg curls. Remember, the hips stay stable and up, and the ball moves. Catherine, yours is going to feel a little bit different. It's going to feel more like you're doing it with the TRX. 13 repetitions. Really work on keeping tight glutes, hips fully extended, which means all the way up in the air. No bend in the hips. Toes shouldn't be popping out. They should be staying straight. Knees shouldn't be popping out. They should stay in line with the hips. These are all weird little compensations for something. If they're happening, try to correct them. Okay. Ooh. Cramp in the butt there. All right. Ab exchange. So I put 4 CT. So the ab exchange is kind of a 4-count exercise, like the Romanian Twist and so many others. Okay, so all the way up, tailbone, shoulder blades off the floor and back. Catherine, you can substitute frog crunch for this. That's the closest to it. Probably a good 13. Really focus on getting tailbone, shoulder blades up, and actually rounding your spine a little bit in that position. So 4 count would be 1, 2, 3, and number 4 becomes whatever rep you're on. Number 5. 1, 2, 3, etc. Anyway, okay. Woo. Ab exchanges. To straight bridge. To the straight bridge. Ow. Okay, uncomfortable. A lot of right elbow pain, but this time it's what they would call golfer's elbow as opposed to my usual tennis elbow. And I don't know why. I did do a little carving this weekend, but the pain was there before I started carving. I think I said 8 of these. 13 of these. 13 straight bridges. Good. Then we're going to move on to seated leg raises. Ooh. So the strategy, if you're paying attention, the strategy is big muscles on one side of the body, big muscles on the other side of the body. Work that back and forth and then throw some twisties in. So after the leg raise, so we just went back of the body. Now we're going to go front of the body, and then we're going to go to Romanian twists. Remember, the whole hand stays on the floor. Do not let the palm come up. Arms straight. Press into the floor through the hands. Lift the legs. Pull back on those toes. I'm going for 8 of these. Try to get a little hold at the top. Oh, those are feeling a little easy. I moved my hands 1 inch forward, so much harder.
I can do this, but I hate them. I don't like them.
Yeah. Means they're good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I hate them too, but this is that low belly stuff. All right, so Romanian twist. Catherine, you'll end up doing 2 sets of these, but I'm after the same idea. Make sure the shoulders stay down with the wipers, right? And you're going to go gently side to side. Only as far as you're comfortable.
Can I do like a bicycle as well? Is that similar?
roughly similar. Roughly. What I was after here was the extension of the hips and then the rotation, which should actually help to loosen things up. Okay, so Romanian twist, head, neck, and chest, upper back rather, supported by ball.
Of the Russian twist. Okay.
The Russian twist would be,
On the floor.
yeah, but it puts. See, what I was after was this position, hips extended with the rotation. We're going to do both in this workout. But I think, really working to keep the hips high in this does make it a little bit more magical than just a basic oblique exercise. And then when I put my thinking cap on, I realize why. And it goes back to the whole wind-up concept through the hips that locks the core in. All right, stability ball crunch. So, Catherine, your basic, and I know how much you love the frog crunch, but the frog crunch would even be a better substitute here. But a basic you could do, I would just hold the legs 90 here, and squeeze up into a crunch. But you could, torture yourself with some frogs. For the rest of us, get your hips just hanging off the wall. Squeeze the glutes tight. Arch a little back, squeeze up, but keep those glutes tight. Keep pushing your hips towards the ceiling on every rep. You should only be able to come up so far. If you're coming up higher, if the ball is moving, you've gone too far and you've let go of your glute squeeze. Of course, the only way to go too far is to let go of the glute squeeze. But what happens here is we get a nice cramp right in the middle of the belly. Squeeze up, give it a pause. And why this is like the frog crunch is by squeezing here, I'm locking out the hip flexors. In the frog, we open the legs up, has the same effect. And we don't want the hip flexors doing the abs work. They may assist, but they assist by stabilizing the pelvis, not by moving the hips. Okay. Glute bridges. Catherine, if you have a block or a box, I'd elevate my feet. But for the rest of us, ball does not move now. Hips down, pelvic tilt, lift all the way up. Don't let the knees pop out. Lower back, keep that pelvic tilt. Really focusing on pinching deep between the glute cheeks, the butt cheeks. Get in there. It's not just out here, it's deeper. Think about at the top as you're coming up, kind of squeezing the muscles in the pelvic floor, those that would stop things from coming out of you. Squeeze those. Oh yeah, that was, I haven't said that cue in forever. Kegel. Do the Kegel in your pelvic tilt. That was the cue. Oh, I forgot about Kegels. But yeah, squeeze. And you'll feel a different level of activation in the deep buttocks. All right, so the ab twister. This one again, we're on our back, no ball. Although you could use a ball if your back was giving you lots of grief or you were in, low back. Timeout. Palms down, arms out to the sides. Legs as straight as possible. And then focus on trying to keep your tailbone from touching the floor as you do these. Oh. Going 8 each direction. Oh. Think about reaching the toes towards the top of your head or towards your fingertips. Don't move your toes away from your fingertips. Move them closer to it. Oh yeah. Got a little crack. So I was going for it. little self-adjustment from the world of chiropractic. I think that might have been 8. Oh. A little bit of a sweaty round. All right, but that was the round. Ooh. Now you could do that again. You could add a jump rope or a swing after each of the exercises. I wasn't after that. I was after something to wake up my body, loosen up my hips, and make the rest of my day comfortable. And I have achieved that in one round.